Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by and welcome to GlobalWafers' third quarter 2018 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in listen-only mode. There will be a presentation followed by the question and answer session. At which time, if you wish to ask questions, you will need to press star 1 on your telephone. This conference is recorded today. I would now like to hand the conference over to your first speaker today, Mr. Randy Abrams. Please go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Grace. This is Randy Abrams, semiconductor analyst for Credit Suisse. I'm your host for the call with management today. I'm pleased to be joined by Doris Hsu, Chairperson and CEO, and C.W. Lee, Vice President and Spokesperson for GlobalWafers. During the call, we'll start with a review by C.W. of the third quarter financial results released today, followed by Doris, who will provide an executive summary of the outlook and also responses to recent investor questions for a more efficient call. We'll then open the call to Q&A with Doris and CW. A reminder, hit star 1, and we'll be polling in the Q&A session. Note we'll also have a replay on the website after the conference. As usual, we'd like to remind everybody that today's discussion may contain forward-looking statements subject to risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from those contained in those forward-looking statements. And now I'm pleased to turn the call over to C.W. Lee. Please go ahead with your summary on the outlook. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. This is C.W. Lee. I will explain GlobalWafers' third quarter earnings results. Please refer to our materials which uploaded on our website 2 hours ago. If you don't have the file, please access our website and search Investor, News and Events. Check the most updated file. First of all, let me update third quarter financial highlight in page 2. In general, GWC's performance in third quarter 2018 is all-time best in the following aspects: revenue, gross margin, EPS, free cash flow, and the net prepayment received from customers. Third quarter revenue, all-time high. It is 11th consecutive quarterly growth, and both for gross margin and EPS also all-time high. Also, we received LTA prepayment all-time high amount, reached NT$ 22 billion, which is equal to US$ 722 million. Free cash flow generate NT$ 25.6 billion, equal to US$ 839 million. Our free cash flow year to date, also all-time high. Korea project, which expansion by customers, strong request and financial support. Full capacity is locked by LTA with a strong price protection more than 5 years. Mass production in 2020. Market driven by strong demand of AI, IoT, automotive, big data, etc. GWC forces stable growth as well. The goal, synchronizing with customers with advanced technology, anticipating record-breaking 2018 on all-time high revenue and profit. All detailed figures are indicated in page 3 to page 12. Please refer to the materials. So Q3 sales rose to NT$ 15.16 billion. Sales up 5.5% versus second quarter this year, and up 26.6% versus Q3 2017 YOY. Q3 sales recorded 11th consecutive quarterly growth. Total 3 quarters sales had reached NT$ 43.4 billion. It is around 10 times of GWC capital amount. Gross margin rose to 39% versus 37% in second quarter this year. EBITDA margin in third quarter was NT$ 6 billion, up 4.4% versus second quarter this year. Total 3 quarters reached to NT$ 16.7 billion, surpassing 2017 whole year already. Operating profit rose to 31% versus 29% in second quarter 2018. Third quarter net profit was NT dollar 3.6 billion, up 3.8% versus the second quarter 2018, and up 219% versus Q3 2017 YOY. Total three quarters net profit reached NT dollar 9.9 billion. FX effect in third quarter was NT dollar 29.6 million versus NT dollar 475 million in second quarter 2018. Q2 FX gain is larger than Q3 2018. Total three quarters FX effect was NT dollar 118 million. Q3 EPS was NT dollar 8.3. Total three quarters contributed NT dollar 22.66, surpassing 2017 full year and nearly doubles. Q3 bank loan amount is NT dollar 8.2 billion, driving down by 70% versus Q1 2017 in less than 2 years. Our cash amount is NT dollar 34 billion in Q3, rose 15.5 billion versus Q4 2017. LTA prepayment in Q3 reached NT dollar 22 billion, all-time high again, all-time high amount. It also means a significant portion of GWC's capacity is booked, and this price protected LTA secured by cash prepayment also supports GWC to expand. None of our LTAs are breached by customs either. We do see some potential market uncertainties result from trade issue, political issue, FX risks, etc. in our company. Because of very high LTA coverage, the potential impact of these uncertainties to global wafers will be minimized, if any. Worldwide wafer shipment market in Q3 was 3.25 billion square inch, up 2.9% versus Q2 this year, and up 8.6% versus Q3 2017 YOY. Main driver of the growth comes from AI, communication, memory, automotive, and the power management applications. But consumers and computers demand is relatively weak than other applications. Driven by strong demand of AI, IoT, automotive, sensor, big data, etc., GWC foresees stable growth from Q4 and onwards. According to SEMI's analysis report, annual wafer shipment will have consistent growth in next 4 years, up 7% in 2018, another 5% plus in 2019. The growth mainly comes from 300 millimeter and 200 millimeter wafer demand. Especially 300 millimeter shipment growth will be larger than 200 millimeter. Driven by IC market demand growth every year, wafer demand area also increasing. Year 2008 to year 2021 CAGR indicate 4.4% growth at least. Year 2018 wafer shipment is expected to exceed the all-time high in year 2017 and continues to hit records through year 2021. Korea new project. The total investment for this project is $438 million, designed for 300 millimeter silicon wafers with 150 kp per month capacity. This capex is almost fully funded by customers prepayment. The capacity of this project has been 100% taken by LTA for more than 5 years from year 2020. Prices of this project have been fixed and will be higher than current price. Above is my explanation. Next, I would like to give the floor to Doris for executive summary. Please refer to page 13. Doris, please.
Yes, thank you, CW. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining our third quarter earnings call. Before we start our Q&A section, I would like to summarize our overall business status, market situation, and also to answer several frequently asked questions which we have received from investors and analysts via emails prior to this call. Please raise questions later if your interested topics are not covered. First of all, I think we just had our board meeting several hours ago, and we just announced a buyback, which is we just released to the market. And the buyback authorized by the board is to buy back 4 million shares from the market at the price at the total amount not exceeding 1.2 billion NT dollar. You can find the details from our press release, which was just released 2 hours ago. Okay, so that's the new information I would like to share with everyone. Q3 this year, this is our best ever quarter. So we have been asked by analysts and investors for several questions. Here, let me update all of these questions. First of all, prepayment and LTAs are the questions we've been asked many times. As of end of Q3, we have received net prepayment amounted NT dollar 22 billion or US dollar 722 million as of end of Q3. This is our net prepayment amount or our outstanding prepayment amount. This is not only GWC's all-time highest prepayment received. It's also, I believe, this is also one of the highest among all silicon wafer companies in the industry as well. These prepayments were paid to us from our strategic partners for LTAs. Very high percentage of our 200 millimeter and 300 millimeter capacities are booked, and a little bit lower, but still a little bit lower percentage, but still with significant percent of our 150 millimeter capacity also has been booked to some LTAs. These LTAs are price protected, fixed volume with cash prepayment. There is no room for renegotiation of these LTAs. And so far, we haven't seen any LTA breaches. In all of the prepayments, the number I just explained that we have 22 billion NT dollar prepayment received. All of these amounts are in GWC, our own bank account. None of the prepayment money is in any escrow account. So this is also one of the most frequently asked questions as well. So according to our communication with our customers, I think our customers are still very positive in securing stable supply for wafers in the next few years. As a matter of fact, actually, because of the amount, 722 million US dollars, this amount is up to end of Q3. Matter of fact, in October, we still have several more LTAs finalized. So I just want to share with everyone that we have more LTAs ongoing right now. Okay, next topic, I would like to update current market demand status. This has been asked by several analysts as well. For GWC, the demand for the following 5 products, our GWC products, the demand for the following 5 products are strong. They are 200 millimeter, 300 millimeter, SOI, flow zone, and silicon carbide. These 5 products demand is stronger than others. Most of the strong demands are from the following end applications: automotive, communication, memory, and power management devices. These end applications are driving our strong shipment increase. Demand for 150 millimeter 6-inch wafers is not as strong as 200 millimeter and 300 millimeter. That's what we have already seen so far. Okay, next topic I would like to update to everyone is our inventory status. This is also being asked many times. Inventory status. GWC, our own finished goods inventory level is extremely low. Almost every single wafer we produce is taken by our customer immediately, no matter what diameter it is. Up to now, finished goods inventory is extremely low. We also check with our customers. According to the most updated information we got from our customers, most of our customers' inventory status are still very healthy, very low. Of course, our customers' inventory status differs from customer to customer and also from product to product. In general, most of our customers' raw wafer inventory is still very low, very healthy. Some LTA customers have just reaffirmed to us that they want to take extra wafers from GWC in 2019. Their demand remain very strong. And when I say extra wafers, that means that they want to have the wafers more than the LTA committed wafers. So some customers are very positive for 2019 demand. Meanwhile, some other customers are not as aggressive as the others. So some other customers are a bit more conservative and have begun to consider maybe some inventory corrections due to trade issues, political issues, and some other macro concerns. And those potential inventory adjustments will be mainly from non-LTA customers. And those potential adjustments are so far as far as we know from our customers, those inventory adjustments are small scale and for very short term. That means that for 1 or 2 quarters only. So Q4 and Q1 next year only. And those small scale potential inventory adjustments are limited to some product lines only. That's what we have already seen for the inventory status update. Let me move on to our 300 millimeter expansion in Korea. This Korea project, we just had our groundbreaking in Korea on October the 8th. So it's a very newly opened expansion project. This is a 300 millimeter capacity expansion in our existing Korea fab. Total capacity for this project is 150,000 wafers a month. Total capex for this project is $438 million. 100% of the capex is covered by specific LTAs, and those LTAs will take up all of the 300 millimeter wafer output from this new capacity for more than 5 years from 2020. The prices for these specific LTAs have already fixed, of course, and those prices are higher than our existing 300 millimeter wafer ASP. This new fab will start ramping up from 2020. Therefore, of course, the depreciation of this new expansion will commence from 2020 as well. Another question I have been asked by several investors and analysts this morning is our view of 2019 ASP. Matter of fact, this question is not that difficult for GWC to answer because most of GWC capacity has already been booked by LTAs, and those LTAs prices are fixed. Therefore, according to our LTAs and most updated customer input, our 200 millimeter, 300 millimeter ASP for 2019 will keep growing. It will be higher than 2018 ASP. For 150 millimeter 6-inch wafers, which we don't have as many LTAs as 200 millimeter and 300 millimeter, the ASP for 2019 maybe will be flat as Q4 2018 or just slightly higher than 2018 Q4 price. That's our most updated view of 2019 ASP. Last but not the least, will GWC keep growing in 2019? This is definitely the most frequently asked question we've received in the last couple of weeks, especially when the markets see volatility. So the answer for this question is very clearly and yes. Based on the latest business update meetings we have with our strategic customers and key customers, fundamental demand for silicon wafer will keep growing in 2019. Therefore, we are very sure that GWC will keep growing as well in 2019. That is all I want to share with you for now. If any of your top questions are not covered, please feel free to raise your question. And the following section is question and answering. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Doris and CW. Grace, we can turn it back over to you to poll the audience for questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you wish to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. If you wish to cancel your request, please press the pound or hash key. We have the first questions comes from the line of Donnie Ting from Nomura Securities. Please ask your question.
Thank you, Chair Lady and CW for the presentation. My first question is a housekeeping question. Chair Lady, could you repeat again on the demand situation? You mentioned some products and applications are doing quite well. Could you repeat those products and the applications again? And also, yes, and also you talk about the pricing trend next year. I did not follow very clear, so could you also repeat again? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Donnie. Let me repeat this part a little bit. We have several products that are stronger than others, and those are 200 millimeter, 300 millimeter, SOI, flow zone, and silicon carbide. If I make it more specific, I am referring to 200 millimeter flow zone and 6-inch silicon carbide. So these products are stronger. The demand for these 5 products are stronger than others. I hope this is clear for you. And the demands are from several key end applications. The growth of the demand are from several key end applications. They are automotive, communication, memory, and power management devices. These 4, from our viewpoint, are the key drivers for the growth. So basically, in general, 150 6-inch wafers and below are the demand for 6-inch wafers and below are not as strong as those 5 items I just mentioned.
And what about the pricing trend in 2019? I'm not sure if you just mentioned about the first quarter price will be flat as fourth quarter this year, or it will moderate?
No. Yeah. No, the whole as far as we got from customers from the latest meetings with our strategic customers, and also based on the LTAs we signed with customers, our 2019 ASP will be higher than 2018 ASP. This is very clear for us. The only product which maybe will be flat or just slightly higher than this year is 6-inch, because we have less 6-inch LTAs. And I'm talking about the whole year's price trend. It's not specifically for Q1 only.
Got it. And my second question is regarding to the first question you mentioned about communication and memory applications demand are still quite strong. I'm a little bit curious because for communication, we all know that smartphone demand is just so-so, and the memory SP is declining, so memory guys' CapEx plan are more cautious into next year. So could you elaborate more on these two applications? And for example, for communication, it's more like CMOS image sensor, this kind of specific products, or anything else? And for memory, yes, are you seeing that despite of the memory guys' CapEx plan is slowing down, the raw wafer vendors' capacity expansion is also slowing down according to customers' demand forecast?
Yes. First of all, for communication, I think the most important specific applications for this we're referring to is for CIS image sensor, especially for high resolution image sensors. That demand is very strong. For GWC, we are the major supplier for some key customers in the key players in the industry, so we have very strong demand for this one. And regarding to memory, I know that many of our memory customers are slowing down their further expansion, planned expansion. They slow down their schedule a little bit, but we double checked with our key customers. They slowed down their new expansion, but actually all of their existing capacity and all of those already expanded capacity, they are going to fully load those new capacities. So that means that they are still asking for more materials from us. Matter of fact, I just double checked with some of our key customers for memory. They are still, they told us that their inventory level, raw wafer inventory level is extremely low, single digit day, just lower than 10 days. That's their current raw wafer inventory level. It's very, very low. So they ask us to make sure that we keep all of our shipment on schedule according to the LTA commitment. And they not only to keep everything as a committed shipment schedule, they are even asking us to give them extra capacity for some products which are not covered by LTA. And we are, up to today, we are still suffering. We cannot give them enough wafers. And for that specific case, I'm talking about some specific 8-inch products.
Okay. Can I ask a following question on memory? So you have a brownfield in Korea for memory, big memory customer. And also SK Siltron has already announced to expand capacity for like SK Group for the further memory capacity expansion. But do you think that you or SK Siltron will adjust your capacity expansion schedule according to customers' real demand? Are you seeing more disciplined expansion now?
First of all, we have no plan to slow down our expansion. Our capacity is small, just 150,000 wafers a month. And what's more important is that we double check with our customers and we ask them, do you want to slow down a little bit or either delay the schedule or downsize the expansion scale? Our answer was not negative. Our customers asked us to keep everything on schedule. They want us to keep everything on schedule. So we are not going to slow down or downsize our. We are not going to slow down or scale down our expansion project. I think the market discipline is still very good. We heard, of course, we cannot get real confirmation from anyone, but we heard from the market that several expansion projects which were announced to the market have already been slowed down or rescheduled. That's what we heard, but of course, no, we don't have any confirmation for that. So I think that the market expansion is still disciplined.
Okay, my last question, and I will go back to Q. My last question is about UMC's Fujian Jinhua. This morning got banned by
yes.
U.S. government's export.
Yes.
Could you elaborate more on, because we know that you signed a lot of long-term agreement, and you previously said that you only signed long-term agreement with big semiconductor companies, and for sure in China, I think the foundries with more reputations are SMIC and Hua Hong. But besides SMIC and Hua Hong, have you ever signed any long-term agreement with other local foundries or memory guys? Will Jinhua impact our, wafer demand next year or not?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Donnie. I think first of all, I would like to make it very clear that GWC signed a lot of, not a lot, but we do sign some LTAs with Chinese customers as well. Not only SMIC and HH Grace, not only these two, but also some other Chinese customers as well. And all of those LTAs, except SMIC, all of the LTAs are starting, the shipments will be starting from 2020. So SMIC, of course, SMIC is our existing customer for years. So we keep delivering them a lot of wafers every month. So this case, for Jinhua's case, so because this news is very new, but as far as I know, there is no impact, because as I just explained earlier, that all our LTAs with most of Chinese customers are starting from 2020. So I think they still have plenty of time to figure things out. So far, we don't know that how soon or what conditions they have to meet to get the tools released by U.S. government. So far, it's still very confusing for me. I am not clear about this.
Got it. So at least won't be any impact in 2019?
Yeah, zero impact.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Philip Lan from Victoria. Please ask your question.
Yes. Hi. I just want to ask, what's the wafer volume delivered?
Hello, I lost your voice. Hello.
Sorry, the line has disconnected. We will proceed to next questions. The next question comes from the line of Sunny Lin from UBS. Please ask your question.
Hi, Doris. Hi, CW. Thank you for taking my question. So my first question is on your career expansion. So since the capacity has been mostly booked by customers, does this limit your flexibility to adjust the ramp-up schedule? And aside from that, for this investment, how do you consider the investment return? Is it justified on the 5-year depreciation period or over the 15-year lifespan of the fab? And aside from this question, I have a follow-up.
Yes, thank you, Sunny. First of all, the LTAs for that Korean project have very clear and firm shipment schedule. So basically, it is very clear, and there's not much flexibility to reschedule the shipment. We did double check with our customers who signed the LTAs with us for that Korean project. We did double check with them before we had our groundbreaking. We double check with them that do you want us to reschedule a little bit, delay, or adjust the production plan a little bit, because as I said that we just had our groundbreaking on October 8th. It was not very far. Ago. So we started seeing some rumors from the market that maybe they will, some DRAM companies, some memory guys will slow down their expansion. So that was why we did double check with them for the next several years expansion schedule, their wish. And the answer we received from them was very positive. They don't want us to delay or reschedule. So to answer your first question, that the schedule, the shipment schedule is fixed by LTA. We did double check, and customers still prefer to still want us to keep the schedule. And regarding to the depreciation, we will do the depreciation based on our standard accounting system, accounting policy, different equipment, different tools, different years. So that's we have our standard depreciation policy. So this project, Korean project, of course, will follow our depreciation accounting policy as well. And the payback is because of, as I explained earlier, the prices for the new Korean project will be better than 2018, better than 2019's price. So that is basically the payback will be still as good as all the other production lines. So this will not be an issue, although the depreciation will commence from 2020, but the margin will be still very healthy as well. Thank you, Sunny.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Doris. Let me be a bit more specific. So yes. I'm just wondering, when you try to price the products at this Korea fab, are you thinking of returning in 5-year time or 10-year time, or over the total lifespan of the plant?
Yes, our when we had the pricing, when we worked on our pricing proposal, our goal is to make it the gross margin as good as our existing lines. That's how we calculate our pricing, because the existing lines depreciation is much lower than new line, of course. But for new line and for existing line, our plan is to try to make our gross margin very, very close. That's how we work on this. Yes.
Sure. And for this fab, what's the maximum capacity that it can accommodate?
Tool-wise, it is about 150,000 wafers plus 5% from productivity and OEE improvement. That's tool-wise capacity. But space-wise and utility capacity-wise, I think we have maybe another 2-3% further expansion is also possible. But that means that if we want to stretch further more than 5% more, then we will have to add some more tours. I hope this is clear.
Yeah, that's very clear. And I have another follow-up. So it's regarding your strategy. So let's say if there's a case that we see very significant demand slowdown, would you consider to lower price to secure your volume, or volume is more flexible for adjustment?
I think, first of all, LTA, a very high percentage of our capacity has already been booked by fixed price LTAs. And this is, of course, not 100%. We still have a couple percent. We still have some single-digit percent of our capacity is non-LTA. So we will try to, our goal as a manufacturer, of course, our goal is to maximize, try to load every single tour, every single line of our tour. So if needed, then maybe we will have to make our price a little bit flexible for those non-LTA parts. But so far, it seems that because our non-LTA part is extremely small, the capacity without LTA is small. I mean, except the small diameter ones. So for 200, 300 millimeter, most of our capacity are covered. So I don't think that we will have too much price fluctuation. We don't have to make any, we don't have to really lower our price to fully load our production line. So far, it looks like that we will be very okay.
Got it. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, CW. I'll be back to the queue.
Yeah, thank you, Sunny.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Sebastian Ho from CLSA. Please ask a question.
Hi, Doris. Hi, CW. Good afternoon. Thanks for taking my questions. The first question for me is regarding the ASP, your comment earlier for next year. I'm just curious, when you talk about the ASP up for both 300 and 200 millimeter wafer next year, is this based on the full year average, or is based on the year-end to year-end comparison?
It's based on full year ASP average.
Okay, so the if we look at the fourth quarter 19 versus fourth quarter 18, then will it still be up?
Yes, it will be still up.
Okay.
Next year, quite some LTAs are fixed price for the whole year. Some of them are 6 months, one price, and the second 6 months is higher than the first 6 months. But most of them are flat price for 12 months. So basically, Q4 next year, the ASP of Q4 next year will be still higher than Q4 this year. That's according to our calculation.
Okay. So we're likely to see, based on that kind of the function of the contract you have, so we're likely to see a spike up of the revenue because the pricing reflected in your revenue and margin in first quarter 19.
Yes. Based on LTA, the answer is yes, but a little bit uncertainty is that you remember that I said that we have small portion non-LTA capacity, and Q1 maybe if there is any small scale short term adjustment, inventory adjustment, maybe our Q1 non-LTA price will be a little bit lower. That's it's not very clear yet. So I think the second half demand will be, those non-LTA ones will be very, very strong as well. But Q1 maybe those non-LTA capacity maybe will be price will be a little bit lower than this year's non-LTA price. So I mean, if we're talking about the non-LTA ASP versus 2019 non-LTA ASP versus 2018 non-LTA ASP, I think it's very likely that next year's non-LTA ASP will be lower than this year.
Okay.
And we have very small portion of this.
Right. But based on your calculation, weighted average wise, the blended SP will still be up, even with some potential weakness in the non-LTA price. Okay,
that's right.
Got it.
But that is what I would like to make it clear to you, that because you said that would that be that Q1 next year there will be we will see some price improvement, big price improvement in Q1. I said that if there was no non-LTA issue, yes, we should see a much stronger LTA ASP improvement from Q1, but the problem is that maybe this will be offset a little bit by that a little bit weak non-LTA part. I don't know if this is clear for you.
Yeah, it is clear, but I think you earlier also mentioned that because the majority of your capacity is booked by LTA, and within those LTA, most of them are fixed price for the 12 months next year. So even there is some weakness in non-LTA price, supposedly the offset factor should be very minimal.
Yes, it is. You are very right.
Okay, got it. I remember the last quarter, Doris, you mentioned that you have two kind of the contrast. One is LTA, which has the fixed price, fixed volume. Another type is PO, which probably have some volume commitment but no pricing, no pricing, no fixed pricing yet. So can you remind us again about the split of this between LTA and PO on 300 and 200 millimeter wafers?
For 300, 200 millimeters, most of them are LTA. Most of them, and we don't disclose the percentage of this, but it's extremely high. So this is very high. For small diameter, 6-inch and below, then most of them are POs. And we do have some LTAs, but percentage, the weight for 6-inch LTAs are much lower than 200, 300 millimeter.
Okay. My second question is on the Korean, the new capacity in Korea. So the ramp will begin in first quarter 2020. Right. Okay. Right. So is it more like a sharp ramp, like we reached the 150K in first quarter 2020, or gradual ramp?
Gradually.
So
the plan now. The plan now is we start submitting samples for qualification from end of Q3 next year. We will start submitting samples for qualification. So we will get qualified product by product. So it will be ramping up gradually, quarter by quarter. By end of 2020, it will be fully loaded, 150,000 wafers a month. By 2020 and Q4 2020.
Okay. So for your LTAs that you mentioned earlier, that the LTA part specifically for this new capacity, the pricing will be higher than 2019 and also 2018. Then how about the existing capacity, the LTA? The pricing will also be higher than 2019?
Yes. So far, we don't have any LTAs at the price lower than current price. All LTAs are higher than current price. If any LTA's price have to be lower than current price, and my decisions, then it's not necessary to sign any LTAs at a lower price.
Oh, no, I understand. Sorry, I'm actually comparing that to 2019, not current price. So still higher.
Yes. You mean the existing capacity, right?
Yes, yes.
Existing capacity, it will be flat. 1920 will be flat. I mean,
so
you're asking for Korea, right? Because Korea, we have new capacity and existing capacity.
Oh yeah, I'm asking about the for example, you have like 700 to 800 K of the 300 meter capacity right now. So for those capacity in 2020, and supposedly, as you just mentioned, is most of them secured by LTA by customers, and the pricing of those LTA on the existing capacity, the price compared to 2019,
be
also
still higher. Yeah. So I thought that I misunderstood your question. I thought that you were asking about Korea existing and Korea new capacity. So Korea existing capacity 2020's ASP it's very close to 2019. So basically very flat. But the new capacity is much higher than 18 and 19. But if we're talking about the whole more than 800,000 wafers we are shipping today, then 2020 LTA ASP is.
Hello, Grace. Do we still have you on the line?
Hello.
Yes, hi,
Hello.
Grace. I think we have you back.
Sorry for the disconnection.
Okay, I think we can proceed with that. I think you were answering for the whole 800,000 wafer capacity, the 2020 ASP. I think you were going to make the comment about the 2020 ASP.
Yes, 2020 ASP for those existing 800 plus thousand wafers a month will be higher than 2019 ASP.
Okay. Do we still have Sebastian on the line, if any follow-ups? Okay, hey, while we're waiting for them, I just have, Doris, I have two quick follow-ups, and then we'll see if we can get him. The one goes back to the question Sunny raised earlier on a major downturn. Like, say we get tariffs on all the products. In that case, some non-LTA customers may have a bit lower pricing, and competitors with less LTAs may reduce pricing. I'm just curious, because we get asked by investors, in a more major downturn scenario, for your big customers, even though they're contracted, is there flexibility built in either on pricing or volume if there was a major change in industry conditions?
No, according to LTA terms and conditions, there is no room, no flexibility for any further adjustment on volume or price. But when we are talking about business, I think, all of these customers are our long-term strategic partners. So if there is any significant change in the whole market, any significant downturn in the market, then we definitely have to try to work out some different solution together with our customer. But so far, we haven't seen any concern on this kind of so-called major downturn.
Okay. The other quick follow-up I had just on the capacity, before the new fab, is there any additional debottlenecking in remainder of this year or 2019 for the 8-inch or 12-inch?
Basically, we have already done most of our debottlenecking projects in the last 24 months. And now the major increase for 200 millimeter will be from Ferrotech, our China partner, OEM partner. That will be a major increase on 8-inch capacity. For 12-inch capacity, we, of course, as a manufacturer, we keep improving our efficiency. So we will have 1% here and there capacity output increase, yield improvement, OE improvement. So yes, we will have some couple percent of increase here and there, but there will be no significant debottleneck increase in the next 6 to 12 months.
Okay. For Ferrotech, can you remind us the percent or number of wafers you'll have available maybe, say, in the next year?
Their capacity now is about 100,000 wafers a month. This is all of these 100,000 wafers are 8-inch. In a new fab under construction, the capacity for the new fab under construction is 350,000 wafers a month. But that is still under construction. So this new capacity, 350,000 wafers a month, will not be available until end of 2019. So that means that it will be ramping up from 2020 Q1 as well. That new capacity, 350,000 wafers a month. And again, the whole 450,000 wafers a month, all of this capacity is 200 millimeter.
Okay, great. Okay, I think we can go back to Grace just for a couple final questions.
Yes.
There are no further questions at this time. Once again, if you wish to ask questions, please press star 1 and wait for your name to be announced.
Okay, I think with that, we're running up on 1 hour now. I want to thank everyone for joining the call with Global Wafers today. We'll also post a replay on the company's website later this evening. Please reach out to us or also the company for any follow-up questions. And on behalf of management, would like to thank you all for joining Global Wafers conference call, and also thanks to Doris and CW.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our conference for today. Thank you for participating. You may all disconnect.